big country like China is definitely a lot lacking in ghost stories. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I am going to be talking about the haunting tales in China. I have a tons of horrifying tales for you, and they are pretty much horrifying. So without more further delay, let's get right into this. This tale is about candied hautrons. So Ling and Ming went to the ghost market, which only occurs once in a year. They were super excited. So when they got into the market, they saw a seller selling candied hautrons, which is physically 4 gumball-shaped candy and a stick. And that ghost seller, because it's a ghost market, so the seller is technically called a ghost seller. He told the kids that if you eat the first candy, you'll be able to see the ghost. If you eat up the second candy, you'll be able to hear them. If you eat up the third candy, you'll be able to talk to them. And if you eat up all 4, then Ming took it and snatched it away because he was super excited to see the candies. I mean, which kid doesn't love candy? So, yep. And Ming disappeared out of nowhere. Ling was finding him. And what happened is that Ling, she kind of had her mind confused about why are there many people having ghost cosplays when she actually ate up her first candy. And then she was like, wait a second, those cosplayers don't have legs. And then she suddenly had the realization of the old man's word, that seller's word, like, if you eat up all 4, you'll die. The blankets. So everybody has blankets, and I'm obsessed with mine. And this tale I am about to tell you, which is not a blanket, but it feels so warm. Okay, so this tale starts with a kind of an old man though, probably age around 30 years old. Yeah, so he didn't get a hotel in the last minute, so he decided to get a hostel for a night. And when going into the hotel, he had a, he had a tingle that the place was haunted. And he suddenly had realizations of a local man's word saying that that place was haunted, and he had no choice. He had to stay in that creepy hostel. He has to stay in the hostel. And when he opened the room, the blankets, okay, so how is it like when we are sweaty and you don't kind of just sit in one place without anything, opening the fan, like that stinky smell had on that blanket. And then that man was like, wow, you just kind of welcome your guests with stinky blankets. I was like, okay, I don't need this blanket for tonight. And while sleeping, he was like, oh my god, why in the world is this so cold? And I was like, okay, I have no way, I have to use the blanket. So he used the blanket, and I was like, oh wow, it is stinky, but it is warm. So you won't guess that the warm blanket was a bit suspicious. It kind of torn apart. And then when the man woke up in the middle of the night knowing what was happening, that was the ghost hair. The blanket. So everybody has blankets, obviously. The next tale is about the comb's owner. The comb. Yeah, that comb. Yeah! Is that a bug? Mommy, help!